morning. Good afternoon. I don't really know what it is, to be honest. Rowley, when I messaged you, do you want a VC before the race? That was when I had woke up again. But we are alive and we are kicking around, so that's alright. Nah, mate, it's morning. I can't be this tired because I've got a trial shift on Thursday for my first ever job. The game's gone. Feels weird. But how is everyone? Because I ain't been here in a while. I ain't been doing commentary in a while. So how is everyone? Because I am tired. Safe to say. I'm fine, really. I'm hoping that results go my way in X3. You sound Jacob drunk. Funny enough, really, I've actually never had alcohol before. It's a miracle, I know, that I've never had alcohol. I need to get into the swing of things. I ain't commentated in a while. So, showtime. I ain't had time to write any like facts about the track or anything. I know there's 15 corners here, 29 laps. I don't know the race distance because I normally have the race distance. Don't know the circuit length or anything. We got Jetta's returning today. He's been with us since season 1. Alright. I bet you now that you've mentioned him, he's going to have an absolute stinker. And speaking of stinkers, this was the man who took me out in the sprint in Qatar. Dennis Gers. So we partially pray on his downfall, but we partially hope that everyone has a good race. Reese is the season 5 X2 champion, made his return. I'm gonna guess the Reese and the Mercedes. Run about here. So 2 reserves as well today for the Scuderies. The Scudery has been blessed to have Yonah as one of the reserves, so that will help them in the constructors. Round turn 14. All drivers say that it's just one corner, but that little right king there is actually turn 15 as well. Down the main straight towards turn number 1, probably in my opinion the second hardest corner on the track. No, no, turn 2. The exit of turn 2 is one of the hardest ones. Yes, he went on to win season 7 constructors with Ray's Imtiaz. He was hard to get right. I'm putting my wheel closer because that's where I have my phone stood. Through at turn number 4, probably my favourite overtaking spot. Apart from turn 10, which really you saw the clip of what I did against Josh. Through at turns 6 and 7 towards the hairpin of turn number 8. Very satisfying when you get the lap correct. And the Mercedes right in the way of either Reese or Dede. If they get out of the way, it will be answered. Which they do. I think that's both Mercedes. It is both Mercedes. Towards turn number 11, very long sweeping left. You've got to really shut the car to maximise the amount of time which you can get round the flat out turn 12 towards the right of turn 13. Get nice and early on the power. Use as much of the outside. Yeah, I'm cooked. Use as much of the outside curb as you can on the exit of turn 13 down towards the break of the turn 14 around the 100-meter braking board. You can use a lot of the outside track. Up another line with Dennis Skurs, and already beats my personal best from yesterday. Oh my god, I am so bad. What about... Oh, I got the wrong Williams. Blades across the line and goes P3. There's a Mercedes now. And the Mercedes started there. That's the Alpines crossing the line together. Vigo and Strikey, they love doing this, don't they? Using the esports line. What about Runnard though? Runnard up another line. Third in the championship. Goes on to provisional pole already. Usurping into the 126s. There's a 126.908 already. I think smashing that pole time from X3 yesterday. Jeter's on his return goes P7. Next up we got the Haas of Dave, who is actually just started this lap. We've got the Red Bull of Robbo powering his way up and over the line. We go with the British driver across the line, goes P4 with a 27.673 as Anton Shabotarov, championship leader, makes it a McLaren 1-3 as the Sauber of Eiton goes up to P5 with a 27.612, but already into the 26.8s. Next up we're going to have, I believe, is the two Silver Arrows. So we'll watch them. We'll watch the two Silver Arrows arrow their way around. As oh my goodness me, almost a collision with Reese and one of the V cars as both Mercedes make their way around the final corner, up and over the line. We go with both Mercedes. One goes 7th, one goes 5th. A 27.8 for Dede and a 27.5 for Reese. Vigo crosses the line, second in the championship, goes third. The top three in the championship, currently in the top three of the grid. Anton leads it with 140 points, I believe. Vigo in second with 125 points, and then Ruddard in third with 150. We watch Dave around as he comes up and over the line for the Haas team. Could there be a bit of a dark horse this race? He crossed the line, goes P7 with a 27.478. I got a message from my best mate. Let me quickly answer this. Let's just watch him. Right. Oh, I got sent a purple snap by someone. Was that from the group? It was from the group. Sorry for that. I do have to answer a message. How many people we've got with us this evening at the minute? 8 people. Hello to the 8 people who are watching. Who does everyone think is going to win today? I hope for the championship it's Runnard. Because then he gains on both Vigo and Anton. There is a scenario where Runnard leads the championship. That is if Anton doesn't score and if Runnard gets pole and the win today. My mate just said what's comms? Commentary. Oh my goodness me, the game's gone. The game's gone, lads. So he is back on track. Dennis Kurz for the V-Carb team. If you wonder what that noise is, that is my cards. I have ADHD, so I have to fidget with something. I actually don't know what I would normally know what the poll time would be, or an estimate for it. I would say from what I've seen, 26-7, I think. I think that's ideally what we want. You know, I always tend to be more calm with commentary and qualifying, because then it's like save the energy for the action which we have waiting for us. 26.4, that's bold. We're going to have to find another 0.4 of a second for that. So I think Dan is going to be giving him a tow here. Yes, he is. Dennis is going to be getting a tow. So Dan will be putting us underway for... Oh, no, he won't. Yes, he will. So Dan will be putting us underway for our second runs in qualifying this Tuesday evening. Lang. Okay, I'm going to butcher that. I'm not going to try. Dan climbing the hill towards turn number 4. Over the blind crest on the exit of turn 2 through turn 4. We go now with the Aston Martin driver. Formerly an X3, got moved up. Makes his way through the twists and turns of the beginning of sectors. Who is called to the game? Purple in the middle, purple in the first sector as he makes his way up the hill towards the blind turn 10, because that barrier's in the way. And it's I think over a 90, maybe like a Same not what degree would be, like maybe 100 degree left. Okay, I can't do this today. Dan makes his way round turn 12. 4.5 seconds up, obviously. His time is currently at 132.218. Seems to go a bit wide there. Dennis though. I'd like to see what Dennis is doing as well in the Delta. Danalala ding dong. Okay, that's probably that. Oh my goodness me, actually. FIA. Are we not having a word? Was that? He crossed the line, goes P4. Dennis goes over the line, goes P3. I don't understand how that's not a track limit there. Now it's time to find who is on the lap. Maybe Robbo is on the lap. No, it's not. Paul Diver's on the out lap. What about the Alpines? Alpines on the out lap. What about the other V car of Don? Of Don? Yeah, no, John. The Scuderia is on the lap, so let's watch Yonnet as he makes his way. I think Azos is Yonnet. Round the final corner we go with the Scarlet Ferrari up and over the line now. Goes very wide. So is this a new thing that they've learned? Yonnet across the line goes up to a 26.6. So is this a thing all the drivers have learned now? And on board with Anton, let's see what happens. No, he obeys it. So Anton up and over the line to try and usurp pole position away. He can't. He sets a 26.784. Next up we got the Williams, I'd like to say. No, it's not. It's going to be the Sauber. No, it's not. Here, Robbo. Okay. Okay, right. Okay, right. I'm stopping this stream because of that. 3 tenths up is Robbo. According to the game, purple in the middle sector. I refuse to believe that if he is over a second from pole. Brody. I'll believe it when I see it. Round turn 14, we go with Robbo. Robbo across the line goes P7 with a 27.330. Next up, we've got the Aston Martin of Dan, who is actually pitting. We already watched him. So next up, we've got the Aston Mercedes crossing the line. That's there they start in this lap. Then we've got the Red Bull of Paul Diver, who is coming over the line. Who actually isn't validated. So we've got the 2 Alpines once again with each other. I've said that they must be doing this strategically. So one's going to pit. Strikey's going to finish his lap. Strikey can only go P12 with a 27.497. Next up, we've got the other Scarlet Ferrari. No, it's not. I don't know why I thought it was. What about the McLarens though? What about Sonic? He is roughly 900s up as he makes his way up and around the final corner, up and over the line. We go with the McLaren driver. One's currently on the front row. The other one can only go up to P7. Jumps ahead of Dan. It's a 27.081 for the McLaren driver. The next up is Aiton in the Sauber. Only 300 up. I can't see him jumping up higher than 12. He crosses the line and improves time, not position. Next up is Paul Diver, though. He is... No, it's not. That was Robbo. Williams. Not on laps. Mercedes. Not on lap. Yes, on lap. 3 tenths up as he makes his way around turn number 13 towards... Down the back straight towards turn number 14, towards the final corner on the racetrack. Williams there, maybe just waiting to get a toe. Up and around the final corner we go with the... I'm about to say the Scuderia Mercedes. The Silver Arrow. As Dele crosses the line and improves to P13. Next up is Paul Diver in the Red Bull. He crosses the line and jumps up just only ahead of his teammate, up to P9. So then next up, I believe it will be Aiton. It will be Blazer. This could well and truly be his final run in qualifying this evening. He makes his way around turn number 4. We ain't got on board yet for this section. A little bit of a join on board with him. A little bit of oversteer there, and a little bit of minor correction. Still a 10.5 up. Exactly as he makes his way round turns 6 and 7 towards the half of the turn 8 now. That front row not wanting to cooperate in with the brake pressure and all that he's putting on. Up and over the hill towards the Brian Clest and downhill. Hardest corner on the racetrack. That front left just not respecting what he wants. Down the straight towards turn number 11 in this Sakir Bahrain circuit. Around turn 11 we go. Could definitely put that car in faster if he wanted to. 28.0 is his current personal best. Nowhere near the pace as Blazer still only a tenth and a half up. He's not only going to be challenging for P15 at this current state of time. I'd love to see 3 minutes 25 left on the clock as Blazer makes his way around the final corner for the Williams team. What can Blazer do? Up and over the line, improves his time, improves his position by 1. It's at 27.830. That will not be good enough, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is plumb last come the end of the session. So next up we got Dan. It's gonna be Dan up next. With I think we've got around 3 minutes left on the clock. So we've got Dan, then John, then the Ferrari of Billy, then the Haas of Dave, and then the Williams who just finished his lap, Blazer. So I think that is his qualifying done. Dusted Blazer at best, only 15th as Dan. I thought he was pitting there, but I forgot that is the line that they normally take. Down the main straight, we're going to go on board with the Aston Martin for a lap as he powers his way down in towards turn number 1. Can he hit that apex nicely? Yes, he can. Now stand on the power on the exit of turn number 1 and through turn 2. Probably one of the hardest traction zones on the whole calendar as he climbs the hill. Red Bull weaving away out in front as he makes his way now round turn number 4 with the Red Bull of Robbo. Gets out of the way nicely. Towards the end of the first sector we go with Dan. It's already a tenth and a quarter of a tenth up as he makes his way through 6 and 7. Towards turn number 8 we go with the Aston Martin driver. Can Dan usurp Yonnet from pole position? He is trying to show his pace to roar towards the front of the field in that green machine. Round turn 10 we go, maybe a little bit wider, but then using a lot of the curb for the exit, making the way down the straight towards maybe one of the old starting grids. Through towards turn number 11 we go with the Aston Martin. Number 32 on the Aston Martin in the green machine, making his way around turn number 12. Towards the end of the middle sector we go with Dan. Still only a 10th up. Lost a little bit of time in the middle sector. Just lost around 200ths in the middle sector. Making his way down the back straight towards turn number 14. Can the Aston Martin usurp anywhere into the top 5? He's only really got a final attempt to get into the top 5. Somehow close the times are. Up and around the final corner. Up and over the line. We go with the Aston Martin to go onto the second row with a 26.852. Now next up will be the Ferrari of Billy, who is half a second up as he makes his way around the sweeping right of turn 13. Down the back straight towards turn number 14. That's Aiton as well, but Sauber behind him. Maybe getting a minor toe as he starts his lap. Billy around the final corner will want to improve his Ferrari to at least minimum to the top 15. Up and over the line, deploy's been used. Billy crosses the line, can only go P17. Next up is Dave in the Haas. Then we have the 2 V-carbs as well. Well, one of the V-carbs, at least Dave crosses the line and will jump up to P7. Not P7, I read that wrong. Where is he? Not Dave, P6, sorry. Dave in the Haas goes up to P6. The McLarens are now beginning their laps as that is pulled over around the final corner, starting his lap as well. And next that would be Aston starting his lap as well. So maybe I think it is Robbo or Paul Diver up next. It is Robbo. He is half a tenth up as he makes his way around turn 12. Using a lot more of that inside curve I've seen. And then towards the end of the little sector, 3 tenths up as he enters the final sector. Really only 2 corners you got to get right as you make your way round towards the final corner. 3 tenths up. This could be challenging for the front 2 rows. Up and around the final corner, up and around turn 14 and 15 we go. Where's the Red Bull driver crossing the line? Robbo, what can the British driver do? He can go onto the 3rd row. And now next up will be Jetters in the Williams, who has invalidated his time. Next up is Yonnet though. He is our man on provisional pole position, looking to extend his gap further ahead of the rest. The Ferrari driver has been so fast this year. Up and over the line we go with Yonnet to improve by 11 milliseconds and set a 26.6. What about Aiton though? Aiton is 2 tenths up. He's not going to be challenging for pole. Aiton crosses the line and goes up to P12. What about the 2 Alpines though? Vigo crosses the line, goes 5th. Strikey can only go 12th. What about Dennis though? Dennis crosses the line, goes on to the front row. Next up, Anton Chiwatarov, championship leader, has invalidated his lap time. But we're going to focus to one of the more important drivers considering the championship fight this season. Runnard making his way down towards turn number 14 and 15. There's a Red Bull crossing the line. A Paul Diver goes up to P4. Next up, the Mercedes of Reese crossing the line. Reese can only go P8. What about Runnard though? Can he usurp the whole field to go onto pole? Oh, you can't. But he couldn't. I was about to say he bet he can, but he stayed on the third row, and it's an all green third row. Dan 5th, Runnard 6th. But once again, we've said it a lot this year, it is Azold. It's Yonat on pole position once again. In Sakir, he's taken the crown under the lights and is starting from the front of the field in Bahrain. Yonat is on pole. Once again, we seem to say it so much. The Romanian on pole ahead of the Dutchman and the Ukrainian. 3 different nations occupying the top 3. We've got 5 different teams in the top 5. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we've got 7 different teams in the top 10. And 5 different teams in the top 5. Ferrari 8 points from McLaren now. Is that top in the constructors? So Ferrari only 8 points behind the Papaya team in the constructors. As we get ready for our fight in Bahrain, ready for the deserted jewel. Floodlights illuminating the track. And I can only begin the countdown. I can only guess the countdown begins to signify to the drivers that it's almost time to go to war in Bahrain. Interesting. Alright. P4 to P6 will slip by 6 milliseconds as well. So it's just proving how close the field is. Yonat on pole in the Ferrari. Dennis alongside him in the V-Carb in the Red Bull B team, but in league racing that is pretty much irrelevant as it is equal car performance. We await the countdown to end, which we can't see. It would be quite nice to see if we could see the countdown, so then we know how long we got. But we wait for showtime to begin in Bahrain. I can only guess the seconds are ticking on down. Got a nice view of all the garages. This is the quietest the track will be until the flag falls in Bahrain. Can Yonat convert his pole to win? All questions about to be answered. Whatever you're thinking, stay tuned for 29 laps around the fast flowing circuit in Sakir. And it is it is showtime. Our fight under the lights is 5 lights away. The 5 lights go on. And the 5 lights will go out. It's foot to the floor. And we're racing in Sakir. And we're powering down towards turn number 1. And it's already Dennis into the lead as they're making their way under the brakes into turn 1. Already a car clear. Softs v hard. You know what's going to win out in the start. The softs already win out and making their way up the hill towards turn number 4. There's 3 cars cutting the corner, cutting the first corner as we climb the hill towards turn number 4. We've got the Aston Martin and the Alpine in a war right now. Can Runnard maybe get the cutback on one of his championship rivals, Vigo? The Aston Martin and Alpine going wheel to wheel through turn number 6 on board with Vigo. He has to concede the place as towards turn number 8 we go. Late braking by the Aston Martin and he's up in the 4th. The Alpine down to 5th. Runnard stays in 6th as they're making their way down towards turns 9 and 10. Reese in the Silver Arrow just sitting behind there. And not to start the John with the one in all the way at the back of the field. And as we now look towards the rear of the field, Jetters on his return is down in P16. We're going to get the filters up. Tyres, we've got all 3 compounds being used for the independent stint. The top 7 on hard, except our race leader, Dennis. So the longer Yonat can stay with him, the better. As running on the inside of Vigo, man, second in the championship. The man second in the championship has been overtaken by the man third in the championship. So the longer that Yonat can stay with Dennis, the better, as that's Dave and Strikey, two drivers on the soft tyres, going at dueling in the desert as they're making their way down the main straight for the second time in this race. Towards turn number 1 we go. Yonat and Anton have already got that gap towards the ones behind, as has Dennis. Dennis is going to be starting to tow them along. So the Aston Martin's got to figure out some sort of way to get them through as they now climb the hill. A lot of duels happening here. A two-car squabble becomes a 5-car squabble. Climbing the hill now. We're going to go on board with Robbo. He's probably got the best seat in the house for this. On the inside we go with the Red Bull. Almost collisions between the two as they stand on the power on the exit of turn number 4 through to the flat of turn 5 towards turn number 6. All these cars dueling for the early positions early on as it's soft with the hard tyres. Now on the inside, Strikey's going for the move on the inside of the Mercedes. As we're making our way down towards turn number 9 and turn number 10, we go with the Mercedes and the Alpine. Now on the inside we go with the Mercedes fighting against the soft. There's not going to be much on the traction, or will there? As they now stand on the power towards turn number 11. Is that Robbo trying to make it 3 wide towards turn number 11? 3 abreast through turn 11, 3 and 1 don't go. It has this time though, and Robbo was trying to get 2. Is he even going to get 1 place? That's through turn number 12 we go, and towards turn number 13, Robbo didn't even get 1 overtake done. Strikey improves ahead of Reese, but Robbo cannot improve ahead of Reese as we're making our way down towards the final corner of the racetrack. Dennis will continue to lead there. I think it's going to go on. Very good. I hate them. I absolutely hate when my controller does that. Yeah, I know, my mic cut out. My controller, my cable decides to just cut off every now and again. Back to what we were saying though. Soft speed hard. Dave had a little look up at the first Aston Martin, but Anton is in a very good position here. Lap 3, and he's already 2.3 ahead of the one of his championship protagonists as he makes his way down towards the hairpin of turn number 8 and now climb the hill towards turn number 9. What can the Aston Martins manoeuvre a chance of getting back into the lead train? You saw Chaz and Dylan, I believe, working together. My mic might out here again. No, it's all good. Just making our way down towards turn 11. This is when the race will then maybe start to die down a bit. Actually, no, the Alpine swapping around. Strikey ahead of Vigo. Vigo on the hard, Strikey on the softs. If we have a look at positions gained as well. 4 places up for Dave, 5 up for Strikey, 7 places down for Pool Diver. So he's definitely not got away the way he wanted. Sonic as well, losing 4. Now, I think this is one of my favourite cameras, just watching the cars all steam onto the main straight. Making their way down towards turn number 1. Yonat going for the lead of the race on the hard tyres. Yonat taking the lead of the race in the early stages. But now, as we climb and go up the hill, could Dennis retake the lead? As we're climbing the hill down towards turn number 4. Change of lead once again, and Dennis is back into the lead. And back into the lead as it has been for the whole race so far. Towards turn number 5 and 6 we go now. We've got a lovely helicopter cam watching the Aston Martins go. I wish we could just have this the whole race. As it's a bit of a moment there for Aston Runners. And that's going to invite Dave. Switchback 1 and 2. Towards turn number 8 we go. Running outside. Hard to make it stick. But on the soft tyre, you can get the better tractions on the power. Is ahead of Runners. And Dave has made up another place and is up into P5 as Dan going very wide on the exit of turn number 10 as Yonat retakes the lead of the race, and Dennis is now sat behind as John gets a penalty for track limits, the sole driver without any DRS. Dan's a little bit all over the place. A little bit a bit wider mid corner of turn 13. Towards 14 we go now. Towards the final corner of the racetrack we actually go now. Dave will be thinking of getting up into 4th in the Haas. We're gonna go to tyres now. As they're making our way down the main straight once again, I could expect to see a change of lead. You can see Dennis pulling out to the outside to take the lead of the race. Dennis into the lead, and Dave is up into 5th or 4th for the moment, as John is at the moment Wide went the Aston Martin. There's 2 cars ghosted. I think that was Strikey and Robbo who were ghosted down on the apex of turn number 1. Yonet's going to retake the lead though, running outside of turn number 4 as it's making their way towards turn 4 was the rest of the field. Yonet's retired, and that is positions being exchanged now as these two having a good old go against Robbo and Strikey, who I believe are ghosted, and off the track goes the Alpine. Strikey going to be forced to cut the corner, is he not? No, he's not. And now can pull down and make a lunge on the inside. No, he can't. He's going to play patient. The Red Bulls and the Alpine, quite realistic if you're thinking about this year. Sort of Verstappen and Gasly having a bit of a duel in Bahrain this year. As towards turn number 10 we go, and Paul Diver is just going to have to stay tucked up behind both Alpines for now as they're making their way down towards the turn 11. As once again Dennis retakes the lead of the race, and now the top 3 I think a bit more bunched up, and Dave is actually starting to gain a bit, get down to 1.9 between 3rd and 4th. As Dan is almost falling out of DRS here of Dave and Runnard, just to make sure, as already once again changing the lead once again towards turn 14. We ain't seen this before. Robbo's been all over so far, not his usual awareness. Indeed, it's not his usual, is it? As the gap down to 1.1 as we start lap 7, and this is inviting Dave and Runnard. Dave is set the fastest lap of the race to go on the attack. I think Dave just wanted to keep to in front, but he lost 6/10 down the main straight. As now up the hill we go with Yonet in the Ferrari, I think just weaving to try and say to Dennis that I want to work with you. Let's just not make sure we lose too much time. I think that's almost maybe a double front lock. And there's yellow flags at the back for striking the Alpine. One of the Alpines off and in the wall. As maybe was that more collision with Robbo? As Robbo and Blazer, yeah, it might have been Robbo, because Robbo is now ghosted in the cars, and now Robbo's just basically falling down the order. Then United maybe swapping places as well, as that is Reese as well. The Mercedes falling away here in Bahrain. As towards turn number 10 we go, running outside goes Billy as Sonic. If he can make the move stick, it'll be a very confident move indeed. As towards turn 11 we go. Dennis continues to lead from Yonet and Anton. I think Yonet's thinking here, I need to make sure I can get through, but I need to make sure Anton can get through as well, because I don't think Dennis has any intention of working together at this current moment in time. As we're only on lap 6, and all those softs those softs going to be dying already. I think the longest someone went on the softs was myself yesterday, was it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the longest anyone went was 12 laps on softs, and I think that was me. Correct me if I am wrong, Riley. But actually, welcome back. Is there DRS for Dave? No, there's not. There's no DRS. So surely now Runnard's going to have to blast on by to make sure that they keep DRS. So towards turn number 1 we go. Re-enter into the lead fight, Runnard and Dave. Runnard is in the DRS train with the championship leader. 2 rivals for the title now in the fight for the lead. Yeah, you did well out. Thank you. Thank you. So now we've got a 5-car train for the lead. The softs are going to start to fade soon, and Dave has done very well. Dennis ruined their race. He didn't work with them, and it cost them 3 seconds. Indeed, it has. I really need to get like batteries or something, because this cable's getting on my nerves. Towards turn number 11 we go with Anton and Dennis. As around turn 11 we go with our top 5, a 5-car train now for the lead. It was 3, but Dennis had a mind of his own in thinking of working together. He thought, nope, I want to make sure I want to lose as much time as possible. And I think I'm actually going to focus on board with Runners here. As we look at battery, oh, you can't see it properly on the V cover. You can see it on the Aston Martin. As already, that is very early. He's not making it to the end. Dennis into the pit lane already. He couldn't even make it 8 laps. Dennis has pitted and is going to go onto what I can only guess is the hard tyres. Watch the little tyre screen. It is onto the hard. 20 laps on the hard he's going to do. And as we climb the hill towards turn number 4, Yonet's going to pull out to the inside and he's going to retake the lead. And now these 4 are going to have to work together and just pulling away. As in fact, Runnard has actually lost the place to Dave. So maybe the softs on the has some fighting spirit left on the American-based car. As we're making our way around turn 6. So what these that will lose in the short term, will they be able to gain back in the long term? So where does he come out? Dennis comes out in a lot of clean air. The timing page is bugged, and I don't know why. The gap is not 4/10, so he's at least 5 seconds behind the car in front. But it's good for him that he's got a lot of clean air, so the dirty air will not be damaging any tyres at the moment. Making our way around turn number 13, towards turn number 14 we go once again. And Yonnet, who started the pole, is back in the lead of the race. Round turn 14 we go, and look how close Anton Shimotarov, the Ukrainian championship leader, gunning for the title this season. Dave's pitting as well. Again, too early, I think. He needed to go at least 10, 11 laps to make hard be competitive all the way throughout. As it's towards turn number 1, the top 8, all on the hard tyres. The top 10 on the hards, except the Williams on the mediums. The mediums are definitely not a good tyre here, as Dave has gone into the mediums. Dave, Billy, Dede onto the medium tyres in Bahrain. And the medium tyre is not normally a good tyre on this game, in my opinion. On this circuit, in fact. Roadblocks are strategies. Alright. We are playing some... Oh, I don't know what the Roadblocks game's called. Williams swapping places, though, as Jetters does get through on Blazer. I think the game is actually called Formula Roadblocks. We've got some Formula Roadblocks are strategies. So arguably the three fastest drivers on the grid, currently occupying the top 3. It goes from track to track, doesn't it, on who is fast where. Anton leads the way ahead of Yonnet and then Runnard. That's it. We're going what was the Aston Martin? Recharging that battery very well. Rolly, am I allowed to put on telemetry, or should I keep it off in case anyone's watching and they want an advantage? Because I normally like to see the battery, but I never turn... Oh, mint, let's go. So 90%, 65%. Oh my god, he's not no battery. Anton is struggling. Anton's struggling, and we're going to see maybe change the lead. I've accidentally pressed the wrong button. It's running outside. Runner was trying to have a bit of a correction there. Now on the exit of turn number 1, up the hill through turn 2. Drifted as well on the exit is Runnard. As they're making their way up the hill, I don't think Anton's got the battery to fight this, you know. As they're making their way up towards the turn 4, and Anton, I think before was going to lose 2 places. He's only lost 1. Yonnet takes the lead, and now Anton will be mainly focusing on recharging that battery pack. Making our way around turn 8, lap for the 10th time in this race. Already on lap 10. Seems to have flown by, hasn't it? We've already been sat here for probably at least 15 minutes watching these drivers go at it in Sakir. Is that Reese who's at the moment? Reese went very wide. He lost a couple of places, did he? On the exit of turn number 8 as the Silver Arrow coming partially down the order. Making our way out. Vigo having oversteered there on the exit. Now, Sonic maybe could see that as an invitation to start getting on the move. And let's have a look at Dennis. Dennis is now on the back. Dennis, in fact, is behind Dave. So Dave and Dennis are going to have to be working together. It's going to be very... 20 laps on the mediums for Dave. That's very bold. I would be astonished if he doesn't get a puncture by at least lap 24, 25. You see Yonnet weaving. You can see one doing partial weaving there. If I was Anton, I wouldn't really be focusing the lead here. Right, and once again, we're going 3 wide towards turn number 1. And once again, Anton's going to lead. And Runnard has finally got at least up in the 2nd place. The number 7 on that Aston Martin. Formerly used, if you're excluding Jack Doohan, formerly used by world champion Kimi Räikkönen. Dave sets the fastest lap with a 30.5. As they are on the hunt to gain as much time with this very, very long undercut. As these won't be in for at least another 8 laps. As they make their way through the twists of Sector 2. And you saw Runnard, the Aston Martin, got a little bit out of shape there. On the exit of turn number 7. It is usually a flat corner, but maybe if you touch the curve slightly wrong, that could throw your car away and away. As Aiton is slowly being hunted by Dave and Dennis. Making their way down towards turn 11, towards the final braking zone of turn towards the final braking zone of Sector 2. Robbo on softs. So going for the 2-stop, I can see. Robbo going aggressive. Ayrton Senna. Alright. Nothing about this is saying Senna at the minute, mate. And as we're on about him, Ayrton gets a 3-second penalty. And I'm going to guess no change of lead. I think Runner just wants to recharge his battery. But instead, Runner's going to actually take the lead. I think Anton decides just to lift off there. Yellow flags for the Red Bull of Robbo, who is having quite the torrential race, safe to say. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a 10-second penalty this lap for speeding in the pits and retiring from the race. Because it's just been quite the catastrophic event for him so far. Never mind. All sorts of duels happening here. On the inside, Reese is going on the inside. He'll switch to the outside. Now towards the hairpin of turn number 8. Reese is going to try running outside of Sonic and the McLaren and the 2 Mercedes power cars going at it. You'd say in 2026, you'll say 3 Mercedes power cars as Alpine switch to the Mercedes power unit for the 26th season. Making their way around turn number 10. As he changes the lead once again into turn number 11. Runnard is into the lead onto the race once again. Anton just maybe trying to focus on some battery recharge as Ayrton and Dennis are scrapping away. Ayrton's now falling behind Dave and Dennis. How many channel points have I? I've got 5k channel points. What can I use it for? While we're in the calmer phase of the race, I'll show you the lead battle. Oh, it's nothing. And Dog Shabotta Dog. What? Brody, are you okay? Oh, contact between the top 2 as we make our way down towards turn number 1, and this could make Anton lose 2nd place as well. Will bang between the 2. I think there's a misunderstanding between those 2 as we're climbing the hill towards turn number 4. And I was saying that this was a more calmer phase. Appears not. Have a look at gap to leader now. So Dave and Dennis are only 17 seconds from the lead. They're going to have a massive buffer. But, so, I think they're going to have at least 10 lap older tyres. And these are a massive lock-up from Jonnet in the Ferrari as he makes his way towards turn number 9. Could that have damaged his tyres at all? Highly doubt it, considering this game. Paul Dover made a massive comeback. Indeed he has, but if you're thinking about people who are pitted, Robbo has retired. So I kind of predicted it. I kind of predicted that Robbo was going to retire. I don't really understand what Ronald's doing here. Maybe trying to... Well, what happened to Dan? I didn't even clock. Dan's down to 9th. Wow. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what Ronald is planning. A bit of a moment there for Anton. Now on the exit. Can Jonnet now maybe get the place? I don't really understand what Runnard's trying here. As they ideally not want to lose a lot of time. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap between... Anton running outside does take the lead momentarily. Runnard fighting this for absolutely no reason. Just making the job later harder for themselves. As now Runnard using battery to guard the inside at turn 4. The top 2 dueling away here. Anton on the outside, Runnard on the inside, locking tyres perhaps, making their way down towards turn number 6 and 7, and Runnard will retake the lead of the race, but that gap between 3rd and 4th is come down by 1.2 seconds, Anton helping Sonic. Yeah, maybe, but then, why, it was Runnard who was holding them up. Runnard was the one who was going all defensive. Gap to leader now. They're within 14 seconds of the race lead. Is Dan and Dave. And you can see them in the background. If you just saw in the background there when we was watching Reese, as Dan gets up into 8th now, as these two are trying to work together to try and kill that 4-second deficit. Are we going to see the game same once again? Making our way down towards the final corner of the racetrack. That 14 to 29. And when we cross the line, we'll have 15 to go. On the exit of turn 14, and now Frat through 15, making our way down the main straight to start the 15th lap of the race. And Runner's going to retake the lead. Is Yona going to try and go for it as well? You can see he's drained half of his pack to go into second place. And Yona's going to start taking matters into his own hands soon. If Runner's going to keep up with his tomfoolery of holding these lot up. If we're making our way up the hill towards turn number 4. As Yona is now in second. The Ferrari who started on pole up into second. And yes, the Martin of Runnard, who is fighting Anton for the championship. Could it be maybe some tactics considering the championship? I might have to take some notes here for China. Making our way down towards turn number 9 and 10. But Riley, I've got a predicament for you. Alright, give me a 5 roll. I'll make a massive scene of 2 title rivals colliding. Yeah, on X3. I'm joking, by the way. No, it's a complete joke. Through turns 11 and 12 we go with the top 3 in the race. Paul Diver's got the gap down to a 2.9 now between the leaders. 3 seconds for Dede. Gap between Runnard and Dennis is 13 seconds now. As we're making our way around the final corner to start lap number 16. We could see some pit stops begin as early as lap 17. Let's make our way down the main straight and into turn number 1. And I think this is what Jonathan's wanting. He's wanting Runnard to get into third, but on the inside, Runnard's going to hold second place. On the exit, almost contact between Anton and Runnard, but Runnard keeps the place ahead of Anton as they now climb the hill towards turn number 4. Runnard's going to go on the attack again, and on the inside of turn number 4, Runnard's going to retake the lead of the race and back up the Aston Martin goes to the front of the field. And through turn number 6 we go. That gap between both McLarens, 2.3, as Sonic and Paul Diver are working together to get back into the fight for the lead train. Gap between Runnard and Dennis down to 12.6. Down towards the turn 11 now, and you're not once again going to sit behind you. You just saw his gears there quickly flick between 7th and 6th to just recharge that battery pack ever so slightly. Gap down to 1.9 between Sonic and Anton. So McLarens maybe have some sense to start working together. As I've already mentioned, it's not smart what they're doing. They're allowing more drivers into the fight, and this could easily just allow, or even Vigo here, the man closest to Anton in the championship. If Anton's helping his teammate, he's helping out Vigo here as well. He's helping out Vigo and Reese here. As I see Reese is going on the attack here on Vigo. As making our way down towards turn number 1 we go. We're going to focus on the lead as Anton is into the lead of the race once again. Your runner's finally been dispersed off the top 2 position, which I think was better for these guys' race. As they now climb the hill. Dennis and Dave swapping positions. 8 laps already on those mediums for Dave. So let's try. I'm surprised the tyres aren't above 20 yet. Mercs will have to split strategies. Indeed, the Mercs will. So will the McLarens as well. I hope you mean. Do you mean the McLaren? You mean the McLarens, no? McLaren will have to split their strategies, both on the hard. Yeah, thought so. So who do you prioritise? Do you prioritise Sonic further down, who is not in the train yet? Almost is. Runner's fading away. Maybe he's pushed those hard tyres too much. That's why he was defending so much. Do you prioritise the man who's further back to then get him track position, or do you prioritise your man leading the way in the championship? And do you prioritise Anton Shabotarov, who currently leads the race as well? Normally it's whoever leads the race gets say. And if they go first or second, you see Yono weaving there, and has Runners lost DRS. Gap between leader and Dennis. Dennis 11.6 behind. As Anton got really close to the wall, really close to the pit wall there. Yono's going to take the lead of the race, as Runners is going to keep DRS, is he? It's going to be tight. He does just keep it. What about Paul Diver? Paul Diver doesn't get it. Climbing the hill towards turn number 4 we go once again. Dave and Dennis maybe fighting on the road now. They lost another 4. They lost like around 3/4 tenths there. Gap up to 12.3 now. So they've actually pulled away a bit there. Making our way round turn number 6, 7 and 8. In the hairpin at turn 8 we are now. And up and over the hill we go with your top 3. Paul Diver almost in the train. Paul Diver, who was down into P11 after I think the first couple of laps, is on a resurgent drive here. And a team, well, it's just getting so close to that DRS. I think he's so close to it. But I think Runner's just got that extra battery to make sure that he doesn't get in it. I was keeping the leader gap so I could see the gap between Jonna and Dave. Making our way down towards the final corner we go and enter now into the fight for the lead. Paul Diver, Sonic, Reese and Vigo. We've got 7 drivers in the lead train as they're all going to plummet in now, except from Anton. Both McLarens, I thought they both continued. And so Jonna, Anton, Reese and Vigo all up for the pits. So what do they go for? Softs or mediums? What's the chosen tyres here? Softs. I think it's just literally softs. Softs is being chosen for everyone except for the Mercedes of Reese. He has gone onto the mediums. He can have a sufficient lack of grip. Look how far these lot are through already. They're already at turn 3 as they now put their foot to the floor on the pit exit. So it's now time to go hunting. I think it's safe to say, as Ricardo Adami would say to Carlos Sainz, it's time to go hunting here in Bahrain. 10 seconds is the gap to gain. 10 lap difference in tyres. 11 laps to go. It's flat out racing here to the end. And I think ideally, I think Runner should have pitted. Overall, I think Runner should have pitted because he looked for lacking pace. Towards turn number 11 we go. Runner's probably thinking, oh god, I'm going to lose a lot of time here. And as I predicted, Reese has lost out. Reese has lost massively, but then Vigo, again, that's closer. That was wide from Reese. I think that should be a track limit warning. Already gained a second as Jonna. So what's going to do better? Pit early or pit later? What is going to be the optimal strategy here? Purple middle sector for Jonna. That's what new soft tyres can do for you. Sonic's continuing here. He's going to do at least 20 laps on the hard tyres. What will the gap be though? As into the pits comes Dan, who had not pit yet. Dave's going to continue up in the third. Dave's obviously going to continue. So how far will these come up behind? Going to at least be, I think, at least 2 seconds. Towards turn number 1 we go. Vigo's going to pull out to the outside as Anton gets ahead of Jonna. Vigo ahead of Reese. And towards turn number 1, wide went the Alpine. And now on the exit of turn number 2, it's going to reopen the door for Reese and the Silver Arrow to get back through. Mediums v the softs, climbing the hill towards turn 4. On the inside, Vigo hunting down Anton in the championship. They've got to work together soon if they are to hunt. But Reese keeps ahead of the Alpine, and Reese is up in the back up in the 7th. Runner's into 6th. Runner slotting in 6th has lost 2.5 seconds. This will be fine. It will be indeed. Get down to 7.1 between Anton and Dave. How much longer will Sonic go though? Sonic's going to be losing seconds hand over fist as he makes his way. Still only lapping alright for old hard tyres. Making his way down towards turn number 14. Unless he's just going to sacrifice his race to help Anton out here. I will never know. You can see that by that line. He's opting to pit this lap. Into the pits we go with Sonic. And I have to be the softs now. So, 6.1 is the gap now between Anton and Dave. They're gaining seconds a lap. I can't see how any of these put up a fight. As yellow flags in sector 2 for Aiton, who has... I can't actually see the damage. Fastest lap at 29.1 for Anton Schwartzman. But Aiton, though, I would love to see his damage. So Sonic comes out again 3 seconds behind. Aiton gets another Chuck him a penalty. No damage on that Sauber now, as these two are going to have to work together. Still 9 laps to go. It'll be close for Anton and Jonnet. It will be, but because the cars are less heavier, that means the tyres are going to wear less. What I've learned. That's why I'd always prefer doing the longer strategy. But then what always puts me off the longer strategy, safety cars, and I never trust myself to gain the time back. Gap down to 4.6 seconds as they're making their way on the exit of turn number 10. You can see him in the background there. It's only been two laps. On their third lap of those tyres, and they've gained 6 seconds. They're gaining probably at least 2.5 seconds a lap. These two have got to make sure they've got the battery to drain down the straight, but they're going to be able to brake so much later. Dennis and Dave, I don't like saying it, but they're mudded. I don't like saying drivers are going to be mudded, but they are going to be mudded. Their race is going to be done. There's no chance of defending these. Yellow flags again for Aiton, who I think he's just having his own little session now. And Riley, remember what you said about him being Senna? Aiton Senna? Don't believe it. I don't know what he's done. He better not call a safety car, because this would ruin it. Positions changes happening here, there, and everywhere. Reese up in the 5th. Paul Diver up into 7th. Get down to 3.1 seconds. Keep an eye on the track map, though. So be careful with the items doing. He's into the wall. He's just driven in the wall. I've watched that. I've watched this dot drive in the wall. I am just going to ignore him. Purple first sector for Anton Shabotarov. They are hunting. They've taken the advice of Ricardo Adami. Let's go hunting. They've gone hunting, and I believe by the end of the lap they will be within DRS of the top 2. Yellow flags again. Aiton's just been Aiton now. Making our way around turn 11 we go, and towards turn number 12 we go. Can they gain half a second in pretty much one corner? More than likely, yes. Gain 3 tenths. Gain 4 tenths. Just can't get in it though. Dave has got DRS. That's going to be crucial. That will be crucial for them. They've got one less lap of them going at it, or one less straight for them to close in. But more than likely, they will be. As Dennis has made the mistake. He's made the mistake. Dennis is going to have to defend. He's made the mistake on the exit of 2 and 3. And running outside goes Jonnet. Can Dennis fight this? He's going to have to fight on the exit. But the soft tyre, too much grip, 11 lap difference. And it's Jonnet who is already up into P. As off goes to Dave. Dave makes the mistake now as well. And spins the car. And I've just called it. It's a puncture for the Haas. It's a rear left puncture. Puncture on the rear left. I predicted it. I said I'd be astonished if he didn't get a puncture before at least lap 24, 25. He's got a puncture on the 14 laps. Paul Dyer has been disconnected from the session, but the Haas has got a puncture here in Bahrain, and look at that car being floated away. Dennis will do amazing to keep up here. On the exit of turn number 13, we go down towards turn number 14. And I'll tell you what, Dennis is in DRS here, but how much is he going to lose on the exit? Not a lot. Anton's going to get the toe. I'm surprised Dennis hasn't really tried fighting this one. Oh, and his AI's ruined this race. Dave still was that puncture, spun once again. And this is going to become horrible for Dave. I said me going 20 laps on hards was bold. As Anton does actually take the lead, sorry for missing that. I said going 20 laps on hards was bold, going 21 laps on mediums was even more bold. Roddy, what did I say earlier? Told you there'd be punctures. 10-second for Dave. Oh, for Dave for exceeding track limits. What? Oh, where's he done that then? Because he's not even. He's just got to the final corner. Spun again. Yellow flag at 2 different seconds. There's now Aiton's got a puncture as well, and he's beached the car. Aiton's beached it. And I'm going to expect the game to get back to disqualify him unless he resets the track. Aiton has beached the car. Glitch. If you go off with the puncture, you get extra pens. Oh, that's crazy. Disqualified. Yep. His race was done anyway. Down the main straight we go. And once again, change of lead. Aiton was disqualified by no fault of his own. I mean, partially was fault of his own. Actually, I completely forgot about this. Runnard, if Dennis is just keeping up with these, Runnard could get himself back in it here. He seemed to have been able to fly away from the rest. And he's got the youngest tyres of the top 4. Sonic got the youngest tyres in the top 5. Paul Diver has joined. That's basically, I think it's a lost cause now for Paul Diver. Round turn number 10 we go with our top 3. Dennis is doing. I'm impressed with Dennis. I should rather look at his tyres. Anything? Can you see anything on the tyres? I can't see anything. Those tyres seem to be in alright condition at this current moment in time. As he makes his way round turn number 11, 12 and 13. Or towards turn number 13. We break for turn 13 now. Re-enter to the fight for the lead. Runnard in the Aston Martin. Used all his battery to get back within DRS. You're not struggling for battery here. It's going to be a slam dunk pass for the lead. Anton's going to fly on by. Into the lead on lap 26.29. 4 to go under the floodlights in Sakir. I mean, we now have a 4-car train for the lead of the race, but I think more later, I think as the laps go on, I think Dennis will be able to keep up, and I think Runnard will be thinking of getting Dennis as quickly as possible, potentially if he can get enough, potentially get him into turn number 8. As I think the hunt of victory for Dennis is over. A little bit of a correction there on the apex turn 6 and turn 7 for Runnard. 2 corrections in the space of 50 metres there. As now on the exit of turn number 8 we go. Dennis is just going. I think they're just going to be a sit and duck now. Under braking at turn number 10. Sorry. Now on the exit of turn number 10, going to be a slam dunk pass, and then onto the podium comes Runnard. Runnard up in the 3rd, and it's now got to go hunting to get back into the DRS of the top 2. Making our way around turn number 11 we go. And if I don't know what to say really. If the DRS isn't powerful enough, here's your top 2 confirmed, unless they get track limit penalties, of course. But these are probably some of the highest drivers you're going to see racing within the tier, so I'd be surprised if they get pens. Down to 1.4, but the DRS is going to lose at least, I want to say at least 3/10. Dave's got a 3-second penalty for track limits. And Dennis is thinking of going to the attack again, but hasn't got the grip to brake later. Then Runnard, 3 laps to go under the lights. As he's making our way up the hill towards turn number 4 for the 3rd to last time in this race. Sonic back ahead of Vigo. Vigo and Sonic, I think Vigo. Will Vigo lose 2nd in the championship? If this is how it finishes. Rowley, I can't remember the points. Because Vigo's on 125 and Runner's on 115. Yellow flags. Dennis is off, and there's now another puncture. No, it's not. He's just spun on his own. Making our way around turn number 14 for the third to last time in this race. Oh, my phone went dark. What was he thinking then? I have no idea. Making our way down towards turn number 14, turn number 1. I don't know why I said turn 14. So, previous race leader has been disqualified. Don't go. Penultimate lap of the race, and it's just going to become DRS games, I would presume. The top 3 seems settled. What happens? I feel like Anton has the pace to keep it there. I would agree so too. But battery, to be honest, doing slightly better in battery. Is making our way around turn number 8. It didn't say it was a puncture, but it definitely was. Yeah, it wasn't a puncture. I saw all your tyres. It wasn't a puncture, Dennis. Round turn number 10 for the penultimate time in this race on the exit. Bit of a poor exit there from Jonnet. Lost like 3/10. The other scored sort of 5. I don't know why it didn't turn around. No, but like my front left showed 99%. Then it's not a puncture. Puncture's 100%. Round the penultimate corner for the second to last time. Onto the final lap of this race. Anton has got the gap. They've both got no battery. Making our way towards turn number 1 for the final time in this race. Making our way into the braking zone for the final time in this race of turn number 1. And the gap as we're making our way on the apex of turn number 2. Who gets the better exit? His hands on as we climb the hill towards turn number 4. Runnard. 3 seconds for Runnard. He's going to fall out of the podium places now and probably fall down to P6. That's probably going to put Reese on the podium. And Reese, I believe it's already said, was his return. So Reese, that'll be a nice trip back to the podium for him if he can fend off Vigo and Solek. Round turn number 8. A bit of a drift there from Jonnet. Anton, championship leader, seems to have this all under control though, as he hits the apex nicely for the last time in this race, as we're making our way down towards turn number 11 for the final time in this race. I always say for the final time in this race a lot. For the final time in this race, we're entering the final sector of the racetrack. But I think you know who your winner's going to be today. Round turn 13, we enter now. And hit the apex nicely. Anton Shibotarov has undergone the pressure. He has been under immense pressure from the green machine, from the Scarlet Ferrari, under braking for the final time in this race. He will see the fireworks light up, and for once again, extending the lead, the Ukrainian weathers the desert and takes the win. Anton wins ahead of Jonnet. Round the final corner. Welcome back to the podium, Reese. Vigo will take 4th. Sonic 5th. Runnard 6th. Then come the 2 Williams, 7th and 8th. They are nicely in formation as there is an ass. Having a little bit of fun there as the Williams are going to go side by side over the line. What was the gap? 27 milliseconds as Dan will take 9th. Paul Diver, after being disconnected and was on a bit of a resurgent drive, will take P10. Come back from Jetters to recover to P8. Dan 9th. Paul Diver finishes P10. Billy will take 11th. At Dede 12th. Strikey, a very poor race on his behalf, takes 13th. But the Ukrainian has taken the crown in the desert. He has weathered all of the pressure and takes the crown jewel under the lights in Sakir. Onto the podium we go, and this is starting to become a bit of a familiar sight, isn't it? Anton Shibotarov once again wins in Bahrain. I've just turned the stream off for a second so I can quickly see the championship standings, or the amount of times that Anton has actually won. Anton picks it up to his 3rd win of the year, showing why he, I would have to guess, is a soon-to-be X2 champion, as they spray the champagne to finally rest after a long and hot race. Safe to say, when you're sim racing, you get very hot. Here's your results then. Anton wins ahead of Yonnet. Reese in 3rd. Vigo 4th. Sonic 5th. Runnard 6th. Blazer and Jettos picking up some decent points for the Williams team. Dan finishes 9th. Paul Diver 10th. Billy in 11th. Dede 12th. Strikey 13th. Dave in 14th. Robbo, John, Dennis and Aiton are your DNFs. X2 comes to a close. This chapter of X2 comes to a close. Round 10 done and dusted. Round 11 next week. We head over to Asia. We head over to the Shanghai International Circuit, where the drivers are ready to take on the fast-flowing corners. Stay tuned for tomorrow, though. If they all turn up, we will be heading off to, is it Mexico, for X1, I'd like to say. All I know is that we have X1 running tomorrow, hoping all the drivers turn up. But from myself, Rowley, and all the staff, and it's just EXA in general, thank you for tuning in. Ciao, adios. I am done for this evening.